Hey and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be painting up Malifaux's cuddly, lovable teddy bear. I thought I'd try something out a little bit different. I thought while I'm putting the model together and getting it ready to paint, I would read a little bit from the Neverborn book of Malifaux about what Teddy actually is. The Widow Weaver's darkest creation, teddies are the stuff of nightmares made real. The creation of such a monstrosity is a carefully held secret, but rumours among the Neverborn suggest that a teddy requires at least one murder to create. Once her creation is complete, the widow turns a teddy loose upon the world, delighting in the fear and destruction it sows. A teddy's actions are cruel mockeries of a child's love. It gives wonderful hugs until its playthings break and are cast aside. It can devour small creatures, pushing them whole into the massive toothy maw torn across its face. The malicious grin a teddy wears never wavers, a cruel grimace born out of the desire to cause terror and death rather than spread joy. Now you know a little bit more about Teddy and his background of this character. Let's move on to the painting, and we're going to begin by priming the model white because I always find it's the easiest way to use with speed paints. You can slap chop if you want. The speed paint we're going to use is grim black, and we're going to use that on Teddy's claws, the pads on the inside of his hands, the claws that are on his feet, the inside of his ears, and also his nose. I forgot to do his nose until I found out later on, but if I say it now, then hopefully you won't make the same mistake I did. Also, while you've got the grim black, I forgot to mention paint the inside of Teddy's mouth at the same time. Something I have learned with the speed paint, obviously we're painting the claws and that first because it was the easiest colour to go with, but if you're painting difficult areas around a model, always start with the lightest colour first, because if you get a lighter speed paint like pallid bone or anything like that on the fur and you go in with a darker brown, you can easily cover it. If you do it the opposite way round, you won't be able to. We're going to start by doing Teddy's bow tie, and we're going to be using Familiar Pink for this. It's the brightest sort of baby pink speed paint I've got, which ties in well with the box art. I think this part was the longest part of painting the whole model, was painting all the stitches. I went around using pallid bone on every individual stitch, which is on his arms, his head, his stomach. But all I'm going to do is just show you a small section because I think you'll get bored by the time we get to the end if I show you me doing every single stitch. But the other thing you can do, if you don't want to paint it like stitches, you can do it like staples. So you could always go through with a metallic silver and hit all these, so it makes it look like he's been stapled together instead of re-stitched. Personal preference, but the box art shows it's stitched, so that's what I'm going to go with on this. Next we're going to use a speed paint Holy White to paint all of Teddy's belly. So with the Holy White it gives it a grey sort of tone, so I think it gives it like a worn look. Next we're going to use the speed paint Blood Red, and we're going to cover Teddy's tongue, and that stretches to the inside of his mouth, so don't be too careful around the teeth because we're going to be painting the gums after, and as the box art shows, he devours people with his mouth, so there's going to be blood everywhere anyway. So just outline all the teeth, put a little bit on the teeth as well, just to make it look nice and gory. I did lose the footage, but his teeth I did paint in bony matter. I only paint a speed paint, but you could also use pallid bone. So either option really, whatever you prefer. With the Blood Red as well, it shows on the box art Teddy's got glowing red eyes. So just dot in the eyes with the Blood Red really, just to give it that glowing look. So don't have to be too neat with this. The next speed paint we're going to use is Brownish Decay, and we're going to use this to paint the patches on Teddy's arms and the one on his leg. This just gives it a really aged old leather look, so it looks like the fur's been worn away and that's what's underneath. The speed paint we're going to be using for Teddy, I'm going to mix up a shadow colour which is 1 part hardened leather, 1 part grim black, and I just use the drop, so just 1 drop grim black to 1 drop hardened leather. And then with the normal like highlight colour, we're going to just be using hardened leather, and we're going to apply the shadow colour in all like the recessed parts, so sort of under the legs, under the arms, any creases. And then we're going to take the hardened leather and blend it in. So technically we're doing a wet blend with this. By having it going from light to dark, it just gives Teddy's fur a bit more variation instead of just being one solid colour. If you don't want to do the shadow colour and then try and wet blend it into a highlight colour, just simply paint the fur with the hardened leather. It will still look good and you'll still have a nice model on the gaming table. Once the fur's all finished, that's basically the model complete. All that's left to do is either base it or paint it black. I'm just painting it black, so I don't know how I'm going to base it. And then I just want to do one more thing just to make this model pop a little bit more. The last thing we're going to do is some blood or gore effects all around his mouth. And we're going to start by taking some of the Yoo-hoo glue. You can pick this up in like Poundland if you're in the UK or them sort of shops. And then we're going to take a drop of blood red speed paint and mix it together with a toothpick. That's what I find the easiest thing to do. And then just basically string it from tooth to tooth and just try and get the desired look. So it looks like his mouth's full of blood and gore, and he's just literally just ripped someone apart and eaten them. That sort of look. And there we have Malifaux's lovable cuddly teddy bear. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And until next time, enjoy your painting and keep it simple.